Hello, it is May 30th, 2020, and I want to do this garden video so I can remember everything that we did this year. So we have some successes, we can keep doing it, and if we have some failures, then we will know not to do it again. So here is our garden. Now, we planted red potatoes in this first row here. Next to that is eggplant. Next to that is bell peppers, habanero, jalapeno, and banana peppers. I had to think for a minute. We planted so many peppers. There's over 30 or more pepper plants of different kinds. We have 2 full rows of tomatoes, 4 different varieties. Golden Jubilee. I think we might have planted some early girls, planted something called Bradley, and then also Better Boys. We have a row mixed of Golden Acres cabbage, purple cabbage, it didn't say what variety it was, and broccoli, which also did not tell me which variety. We have a mixed row here of we have some zucchini on the end. I'm not really a big fan of a lot of zucchini. I can have a little bit, but a little bit goes a long way. But the pot that we bought of zucchini had 6 plants in it, and I'm definitely not going to waste them. So we planted them, 3 of them here, 2 there, and then 1 little guy there. We have 6, I have to think what those are, yellow squash. Those are the crook neck. I don't believe I planted straight neck. I think I just planted crook neck. And then we have 6 cucumbers here. The reason we have 6 cucumbers is because, again, the pots that I bought had 3 plants in it each. So 3 plants of the cucumbers are bush pickle, and then 3 other plants are burpless. Yeah. Okay. Then this last row here, we were going to save for corn and beans, but because of COVID-19, we have not been able to find corn seeds. Now, we could probably look harder and go to a lot of other stores. That's just not really how we roll. So we have like our favorite stores, and we don't really like to get out much. So I improvised. Instead of corn, I planted 3 different varieties of sunflowers. I just alternated like every 3 seeds. And then to the right of that, I planted some green bean seeds. I cannot remember what variety that was. I'll do another video and I'll make sure to get that because I will want to remember in case I like them or not. These 2 squash plants here are spaghetti squash, which we will actually have a lot more spaghetti squash to plant. I planted some spaghetti squash seeds in trays because we love spaghetti squash so much. Funny story, long story short, the seeds didn't grow, and then it poured rain on them because I forgot about them, left them sitting out. Assumed they were drowned, so I didn't mess with them anymore. The hot sun came out and they popped through their flooded trays, so apparently that's what it took. We also have tomatillos. We have 6 or 8 of them. We have 8 of them. We planted them randomly on the ends of some rows. I kept them with the peppers and the tomatoes because I figured they have to be a nightshade along with the eggplants and the peppers and tomatoes. So I assumed they would grow best in those areas. I did do research. I have a notebook that I keep from the first year that I looked this up about certain plants have certain friends and certain plants have certain enemies. Potatoes, eggplant, peppers, tomatoes, cabbage, broccoli, squash, and beans. Those are all planted in this order for a reason, because if I plant some of them next to each other, they will not get along. I think either in between these tomatoes or over here between the tomatoes and the cabbage, I'm going to plant some onions. Onions are friends with tomatoes. They're also friends with cabbage. So it's just been a little too muddy. So I'm not going to get in there. I don't want to smash everything down. The peppers, eggplants, and tomatoes, we have put a handful of Epsom salt on top of the soil with each plant. The only reason we didn't plant them with Epsom salt is because we didn't have Epsom salt when we were planting. And then I ordered it online and it took a while to come in. So we did that a couple days ago, and it's rained a few times. So that's what you can see, some of the white spots there and there, over there. That is Epsom salt waiting still to soak in, but a lot of it has already soaked in with all the rain. The day after, and the only plants I put the Epsom salts on was tomatoes, peppers. I went ahead and did the tomatillas, the eggplant, and I did a light sprinkling over the potatoes because I read where they are good to ward off potato beetles. So we'll see. I didn't put a lot, just a sprinkle. Then the next day, actually the same day, I had got some blood meal in, and blood meal is good for anything that has lots of green growth. So I hit the cabbage and the broccoli up first thing. I do plan on hitting up the tomatoes. I just wanted to give some time for the Epsom salts to soak in. I'm probably going to do the tomatoes and the peppers. Everything that grows above ground, I'm going to hit with the blood meal. Some of the plants probably not so much, like the peppers. I won't hit those too much. The squash, I did learn, benefits also from Epsom salt because of some pests and things like that. So I'm going to also sprinkle the squash with some Epsom salt as well. The potatoes, because they grow underground, those are good with bone meal. So today, actually, I went through and I sprinkled a lot of bone meal on them. Now this whole row was green and leafy until today. I sprinkled the bone meal from the very end to the other end, and then I put some straw. Now this is some old straw, so I know that if there could still be some seeds in the straw. You should always buy seedless straw, but the straw was old. It's been in our garage for a while, and we have chipmunks. So if there's anything in there and the chipmunks didn't get it, I'll just pick it off. I'm not really worried about wheatgrass. And then shoveled and raked some dirt over top of that, over top of the potato leaves and all, because I've seen online on other YouTube channels where the leaves, they don't care. They'll still pop up through. And actually, since earlier today, some of them are already popping back up. Pretty excited.